What's up, you guys? Welcome to a brand new YouTube video. I mean, as you guys can see, this video is going to be completely different from the videos that I typically upload. Normally, you guys see me in a vlog format where I'm taking you through my day and documenting my training along with what I'm eating, what I'm doing. But for this particular video, I'm gonna have to just discuss something I did last week because I didn't add any context to it. I just showed up to the gym, had my tripod and my camera, and just filmed one lift, basically 3 lifts for that day, but filmed one lift, and that was it. I ain't talk, I ain't say none. I just filmed it and then went back to the crib. So this is one of those lifts where it's like, I need to talk about it. I need to upload something in regards for it because it's just like, bro, like you can't just deadlift 782 and just leave it on Instagram and not talk about it on YouTube. And the next time you guys hear about it is gonna be like my next vlog. So I was like, you know, let's just dedicate a single video to discussing deadlifts and where I'm currently at, my goals for deadlift, and just like how deadlift's been going the last couple of years. Now I'm gonna preface this conversation by saying my deads have been kind of ass in training for the past like year and a half. I mean, when I think about my prep for nationals, PA nationals back in 2024, yo, I was pulling like damn near 771 at will. Like my deadlifts were really, really good. Now, fast forward past that, it just kind of took like a weird turn. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but my deadlift did show up at Sheffield. I just wasn't able to execute. Like I was pulling like, I think I could have pulled 771 if I absolutely needed to at Sheffield. I think like I dropped 760, but it wasn't difficult. I just dropped it. It's all good though. I mean, we're not gonna get into that conversation, but I think the way that we prepped for Sheffield, and when I say we, I'm talking about my coach, Joey Flex. I think the way they had me prep for Sheffield is that none of my like top end numbers are gonna be too crazy, but on the day of, it was gonna be nice. So I just wanna, you know, kind of preface that whole conversation. But a couple of weeks ago, I told myself, yo, we gotta get back to hitting big deadlift numbers in training. And I know like, just because you hit big deadlift numbers in training doesn't mean it's always gonna transfer to the platform or vice versa, whatever you wanna say. But I'm like, nah, we gotta get back to heavy singles, heavy back down work, all that kind of stuff. And I made a commitment to myself. It's like, yo, when you come into deadlift, you gotta come in with that like, that attitude, just that feeling of like, no, I get to pull whatever I want in the world. And I think with my bulk, because as you guys know, I've been kind of bulking. It's not even really a crazy bulk, to be honest with you, because my weight is like 2 to 3 pounds up from my normal training weight. I'm like sitting at 195 comfortably on most days. So last week we had deadlift, and it was week 4. And for powerlifters that are listening to this, you know week 4 is the last training block on your block to where like you go into a deload. So you could kind of like, if you're gonna YOLO, I wouldn't, first of all, I wouldn't like suggest YOLOing, but if you're going YOLO, week 4 is the week to do it. So I'm looking at Deads, and he had me at like 335. So 335 kg is around 738 or 733. And I was like, man, come on, I smoked my 705 pull last week. I was like, yo, I smoked it, right? So I came into this week and I was like, okay, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm pulling whatever the fuck I feel like. Like if I start warming up and that 705 look crisp, send it. And the way that I warm up now in deadlift's a little bit different because I typically go plate, green, and then another plate, and then, you know, figuring out what we got for that top single. So it usually I do, once I get to the 5 reds, 5 reds is 595. Then I put on like a green, and then I do the 705. So it goes from 595 to 639 to 705, and then whatever my top single is gonna be for that session. And I was like, I feel strong when I pulled that 705 because I only have 3 lifts recorded from that session. I have my 595, I have my 705, and then I jumped straight from 705 to 782. And the reason why I was able to do that is because obviously I'm heavier, so like my strength is just like way higher. Man, when I loaded that 782, I was nervous as hell. Like I'm talking about like my body, and this is a good indicator that your body's ready. My body, I didn't feel like I was in my body. My body was like radiating. I was like, damn, I can't feel my hands, I can't feel my feet. It's time to go. And I do that every single time that I hit big weights. Whenever like I can't feel my hands or feet, I'm like, all right, it's time to go. Your body's heavily stimulated. So you need to act on this before this feeling goes away. Because sometimes when you let that feeling go away, your body is just kind of like, yo, we juiced you up for this moment right here and you missed it. Emotionally, we don't have it no more for you. So I was like, all right, cool. So 705 flew, and I was like, oh shit. And I was like kind of doing the numbers in my head. I'm like, okay, if I just add a yellow, it's not that big of a deal. and I've done 771, so let me just add a black and make it 782. And the reason why I went to 782 is, number one, is I've never really pulled. I pulled 785 kind of clean, but I've never actually pulled over 771 on kilos. Like, I've never done that before. So I was like, you know what? Let's pull 780 plus pounds for the first time ever today on kilo plates and an Alico bar. So I was like, all right, bet. And I told myself, I was like, you got nothing to fear. Because like, usually I go on IG Live to do all this kind of stuff. I was like, you ain't got nothing to fear. Like, just go for it, shoot for it. It's week 4, it don't matter. So I pulled it, and to my surprise, like low-key, this was kind of surprising to me, it moved fast. Like the second in the video, you'll see me start smiling like as soon as I like kind of like pull the slack out of the box. I'm like, damn, it feels possible. So I pulled it, and the second that it left the ground, I was like, I already started cheesing, because I was like, oh, this is easy. Because I was anticipating, I'm like, yo, it's gonna be a struggle, but stay with it. But when I started pulling, there was no struggle. So I was like, damn, bro. How strong am I right now? Because I started getting irritated. I was like, damn, I could have just pulled 804 today, which would have been, I think it would have been the 6 reds, a blue, and then maybe like a black or a silver or something like that. But I had it. I was like, I could have just did the 804 today. And it's crazy because I could do 804. Like we were doing like a new block, and I'll get into that, but I could do 804 whenever the cards are right. If not, 815. To be honest with you guys, since it's YouTube and we fam, I'm gonna do 815. Like probably like this month, I'm gonna do 815. I'm gonna post it, I'm gonna talk my shit, all that kind of stuff. That time for sure, I'm gonna make it a whole YouTube video. But getting back to the conversation of deadlifts, I was able to hit that 782. It felt smooth, and I was like, all right, cool. Now we're gonna start eyeing bigger weights, and I understand now the jumps I need to make in order to get to that final number. And it's crazy because I think I'll just go from 705 to 80. This sounds crazy, but probably 705 to 804. And my reasoning for that is because, you know, the 705 is still warm up weight for me at this strength of stage that I'm currently in. And, you know, whenever you're deadlifting those big numbers, and you're not like a big guy, like a big heavyweight person, you only got a couple shots in you to get that number. You only got a couple shots. Like maybe I could do a 749 pull, which is gonna be 6 reds and a green, but it's just like, that zaps for me the energy that I have going up to that 804, because I'm a conventional puller, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? All them, that range of motion, every time you do that range of motion, it matters. So anyways, getting into the block that Joey has recently sent me. For those of you guys that haven't been keeping up with my vlogs, like Joey and I have been doing a new thing to where he actually has capped numbers for me to hit. So on my singles, like on bench, I can literally look at my program and I know exactly what he wants me to hit next week, and then week 3, and then week 4. So when I looked at the cap numbers that he hit, usually like he's pretty conservative, and he's pretty conservative. But I'm looking at these new numbers, I'm like, these are the numbers that I be trying to like go for and wish that you had for me so I could hit. And you put it on there for me for real, say less. And I looked at the week 4 numbers that he has, and I was like, yeah, we probably gonna pull like 815 by week 4. We'll see. I'm gonna get too ahead of myself, but at some point I'm gonna pull that 815. But I just wanted to get on here and just talk about my deadlift because I'm excited. Like deadlift has been, I feel like there's been lifts for me that have been kind of like weird. Squat is pretty much always loyal. Like that's my lift. Like I just feel like squat is always gonna be there for me. I'm gonna hit big numbers this training cycle. I already know it. Bench is a new thing that has finally caught on. I finally got my bench up to par with some of the better benchers in my division. Not 93s though, because they be benching crazy numbers. I ain't there yet. But basically my bench isn't so far behind. I think for a long time my bench has kind of limited the total that I've been able to put up. But now that my bench is kind of caught up to my other lifts, we doing great on that. And then now Dead's just kind of acting a little weird, but it's coming back right now. So it's like, all right, cool. Now we hitting on all cylinders. Man, boy, I'm telling y'all, all y'all got to do is just sit down and manifest a little bit and think about things in a way that like makes you hyper focused. Because it's like I was cruising. I'm like, man, I'm starting to notice that Dez just not coming up. And like literally a couple weeks ago, or maybe last month, I was like, yo, I don't give a fuck what's going on. I'm gonna deadlift something crazy, and I need to start attacking deads and being more punctual with deads. And then all of a sudden my deads started coming up, and I know you know, my weight's up just a little bit, but at the same time, still like being able to manifest better deads is crazy. So, man, I'm super excited. I'm super happy that I was able to hit that 782 pretty clean, and then hold it at the top as well, because that was an issue at Sheffield. Obviously, wasn't able to hold 760, which is like still embarrassing, but it's all good. These are the things that you need to work on in order to make yourself a better lifter, so it's all good. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and talk about my deads. Next time I talk to y'all about deads for real, it's gonna be, you know, we gonna pull 800. I'm putting it into the universe, and I know it's gonna happen pretty soon. So, anyways, yeah, thank you guys for tapping into this quick session about my deadlift. I just didn't want to go like YouTube videos without actually discussing the 782. And it's like, bro, you pulled 782, talk about it, like update the people on what's going on. So anyways, if you guys like this type of content, let me know. I could always jump on here and talk about some of my bigger lifts, or even talking about my weeks and blocks as I do them. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning into today's video. Like always, if you guys like today's video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. You better today.
Hey yo, the scientific, minds lifted, rhymes cooked in Einstein's kitchen.